As much as it pains me to start building hype and tempting fate and all that stuff, I'm pretty sure, and I've racked my brains over this, but I don't think in my whole 20 plus years playing Football Manager games, I don't think I've ever done back-to-back promotion-winning league titles before. And we've got 10 games left and we're still top of the league. Hello and welcome to Season 5, Part 7 of Non-League to Legend. I've lost my episode numbering. 7 sounds about right. I'm Kev. Coming up on today's episode, we are at home against Birmingham and away against Exeter. We only have 10 games left. We're 14 points clear at the top of League One. I'm pretty sure it might be the most ridiculous season of Football Manager I've ever played. I can't explain it. I don't know how it's happened. I'm really glad it has. And I'm also a little bit confused because Martel Taylor Crosstail's face seems to have disappeared. I'm pretty sure he's had a face before. I've noticed it because he's sat there as our top goal scorer, highest average rating, most assists, most player of the match awards. It's fair to say the young man's having quite a good season. He's 21 years old now. Still sat there with his 5-star potential, valued at £750,000. And he's got 20 goals in 33 appearances, averaging a 7.44 this season. The lad is doing quite well. Since you were last with me, it's generally been quite good form, and we had one iffy game, which we'll get to in a moment, and some games where we scored rather a lot of goals. We've had a 6-2, a 5-2, a 5-2. We still can't defend to save our lives. When we're playing against good teams, like against Wigan, we do come a little bit unstuck. We had 7 bookings and a red card in that match as well and got fined. But that game aside, we're still in rather good form, and hopefully it's not going to dent our title ambitions too much. Wigan are the closest team to us, but a long way back. And surely we can't blow it from here. 14 points clear with only 10 games remaining. I'm getting excited and trying not to be. So the team that we're playing for today's game against Birmingham, and Birmingham, by the way, are another team who are right up there challenging for us. So the last time we played a team who were any good, we got beaten. Birmingham could leapfrog above Wigan today. They have very similar records, both on 60 points, both with a goal difference of 12. They've just drawn more games as opposed to Wigan, who've won them and have lost a lot more. So that sentence made sense before I started saying it, and then it kind of got lost on its way out of my mouth. I was telling you about the team, wasn't I? So this is our 11. We've got Ted Smith in goal. A back four of Keneally, because, obviously, video times. Oh, he's not suspended. He's injured. Oh, I was going to say, I remember him being suspended. He's suspended and injured, because why not? It's a good time to get injured while you're suspended, and obviously Cool is suspended as well, because They just both get suspended a lot. They're ruffians. So a back four of Keneally, Anderson, Jackson and Grant. Midfield, Wordsworth, Hamblin and Zelalem, with Benteke in behind Marriott and Taylor Crossdale. Rakyle Pike did get back into the team when he recovered from his poorly sick in the last video. But Marriott has been scoring rather a lot of goals recently. He's finally started to hit some form. So he got 2 goals in the last game. He got a hat-trick a couple of games before that. So he's becoming quite the goal scorer for us at the moment, scoring more regularly than Taylor Crossdale at the moment. And between the two of them, they're both averaging over an 8 over the last 5 games. So Pike is going to have to sit it out for a little while until he can recapture that kind of form, because these two are scoring an awful lot of goals at the moment. Let's get into the game and hopefully not come unstuck the way we did against Wigan. We are at home. We are the favourites. We don't need to risk Miguel. He's not even our player. Jose Mourinho's getting all hissy about the fact that we don't ever play him because he's on loan from Manchester United. But, you know, Ted Smith is my hero. You lot don't like him. He's going to have 2 championship winning medals in his kit bag by the end of this season, hopefully, and he's going to be a championship goalkeeper. Yes, we'll have to replace him at some point, but I quite like the fact that we're as good as we are with an awful goalkeeper. It's fun. Not quite so fun when stuff like that happens. Imagine how high up the league... Well, we couldn't get any higher up the league, but imagine how much further ahead on points we'd be if we had a proper goalkeeper. Because stuff like this wouldn't happen so often, because he's beaten at the near post here. And I'm pretty sure he probably should have done better. Cross comes in from the right-hand side. And, yeah, I mean, you shouldn't be getting beaten there, Ted. There's a reason we've never committed to giving him the number 1 shirt. He's always a stopgap for 3 years now. Right, Keneally crosses to Taylor Crossdale, who can't get any power behind the header, and it's collected up by their goalkeeper. As things stand, obviously the gap is starting to narrow a little bit at the top. Birmingham catching up with us. Oh, Taylor Crossdale's in again. Can we not have another camera-shy episode, Taylor Crossdale? Because we need you to get back into the free scoring super fun form you were in earlier in the season. He's turned creative recently. He had a game, I think it was the game against Posh, he got 4 assists, which is why his average rating's still staying so high. They've just had a player sent off, haven't they? Did I see a red card flash there? They have. They've had a player sent off. It must have been for a second yellow card. I don't really know what happened there. But we haven't capitalised on it at all, and it's half-time and we're still 1-0 down. Right, come on, lads. We're against 10 men. This is a massive, massive game. If we win this, then I'm going to call promotion here and now. If we don't win this, both Wigan and Birmingham start to catch us up a little bit, and there's always the whole feeling of we're playing above ourselves all season long. Are we finally starting to get unstuck? Because this would be 2 defeats in 3 games against the 2 teams chasing us. It's going to be a confidence boost for them and could start to affect morale for us. And we just don't seem to be doing anything. Taylor Crossdale may as well not be out there today, so we're going to bring Schiavi on because he's been in good form recently, averaging close to an 8 himself in recent games. In fact, we're going to bring Pike on as well. Let's bring them both on. Change everything up top. So we'll have Pike and Schiavi. Last season's 60-goal partnership. You know, we can put some goal scorers together in this team. Surely, all the goals they scored last year, they need to be able to nick one for us today between them. But, we're not creating anything. Nothing's happening. Look at those stats as well. We've dominated possession. We've had so many more shots than them. Birmingham have hit the 1 goal on the break, and it doesn't matter because Schiavi has his 3rd goal of the season. It's a cross from Pike, tucked in by Schiavi. It's like we're in League 2 again. Oh, see, inspired substitution. That's what you've just witnessed there. Lovely little finish, 1-1. We've got 15 minutes left to go and win this game now, and it might be a little bit unfair on Birmingham if we do, but if you look at the stats, we are being mugged at the moment. We should be winning this game. Let's get Cragen on for Benteke, who has been training his socks off to be an attacking midfielder for us and has finally mastered it. He's probably in his last season for the club regardless of what happens promotion-wise, but I said that last year and he's stuck around again. He's hard to get rid of. Zelalim! Schiavi's in again! Oh, it's been disallowed. I thought I was going to look like a genius for bringing on the striker who'd only got 2 goals for us so far ahead of Pike. As it is, it looks like it's going to just drift away into a 1-1. It's not a complete disaster. We're still 12 points ahead of Wigan. Still, 14 points ahead of Birmingham. We could still grab a goal here. We've got the last kick of the game. Schiavi's in and it's a good tackle and it's ended 1-1. We probably should have won that game and hopefully it's not going to end up costing us. And finally, the signing of Richard Keogh is justified. Adam Jackson's picked up an injury. He's going to be out for the next month or so. And he's going to miss most of the run-in, which is worrying because he has been a key player again after coming back from his little sulking earlier in the season. But it does mean we've got an experienced, seasoned pro to come into our back four. Yes, we could have brought George Fowler into the team, but this man's been playing in the Premier League in the last 2 years. Played a full season up there, so it's got to be him, hasn't it? So we're going to bring Keogh into the side. So he comes in for the injured Jackson. Aaron Cool comes back into the centre midfield because he's served out his suspension. Other than that, we are unchanged from the team that just drew with Birmingham. So let's get the team submitted, get into the game. Very strong favourites again. Where are Exeter? Exeter, lower mid-table. You would like to think this should be the kind of should be the kind of game where we can put in a top performance and sort of start to open that gap up a little bit again. These are the games where, when we've been playing them off camera, these are the ones where we've been getting the 5-6 goal wins. And they tend to come quite late. It's weird. We've gone behind in a couple of them and scored a big chunk of our goals in the last sort of 15-20 minutes. So if we are losing at half-time, don't panic. Keogh, pace might be a bit of a problem for the old man back there. And he did let their player get in behind him. It might be a one-game experiment. Fowler might be in again for the next game if today doesn't go well. Or he could turn out to be a superstar. There he is on the edge of the area, knocks it back to Grant. Not necessarily superstar stuff, but Zelalem he's a budding superstar, but he loses out as well. And they're coming at us again a little bit here, but we've calmly sort of collected all that up. See, I like the way we just knock the ball around. It's just nice, tidy, waiting for spaces to open up. There is a space. There is Martel Taylor-Crossdale. That's his 24th goal of the season. And as it stands, that's a 15-point gap at the top of the league. It's now Shrewsbury have moved up into second place. So presumably both Birmingham and Wigan struggling today. So it's the ideal opportunity for us to capitalise on poor results from them and pick up a nice win. And look at that. I mean, that's a celebratory dance if ever you saw one. Birmingham down to 50. It's so tight behind us. This league is very, very competitive below us, which is fine. I don't mind it being competitive below us. That's a perfectly acceptable place for something to be competitive. Cross comes in and Smith sort of flaps at it, doesn't deal with it at all, and they've got another chance to come at it. Zelalem intercepts and clears to nobody because we only had one man forward and he didn't seem alert to what was going on, but it looks like we should be able to go in at half-time 1-0 up unless something horrible happens here, and they are coming at us in waves again, and they've got their man in, and offside maybe? No. They've got a player there who's got an S missing from his name, just Davey, and it troubles me. That should be Davies. I want there to be an S there, and I don't like the fact he hasn't got one. And Ted Smith, really should be doing better than that. I know, you don't need to tell me about Ted Smith. You all know from yesterday's video that I did my best to try and replace him, but it just wasn't to be. It's number one on the shopping list for the summer, regardless of what division we're playing in. We need a new goalkeeper. I'm aware it's whether or not we can find one. Wordsworth, can he do a Wordsworth special? He can't. It goes straight into the hands of their keeper. I mean, I know I've said we score our goals late in these kinds of games. I do get a little bit worried at this point, though. Nearly an hour on the clock. It's still only 1-1. Marriott's in, though, and it's 2-1 now. And that's his 19th goal of the season. He was a bit of a worry early on. The fans were on my back a little bit about signing him because he was apparently a very disappointing signing. But for, 70 grand, I think we paid for him. 19th goal of the season with 8 games still to go. I'd pay 70 grand in any league for a 20-goal striker. And it looks like that's exactly what we've done. So, fans, I know best. It's time you learnt that. Benteke's in now. Can he square it to Marriott? He does. Who misses? Because the fans were right after all. Should have done better with that. And I am going to be a little bit edgy for as long as we're only 1 goal ahead. This is the time where we need to make our superiority count. I don't know if we're fitter than the opposition or whether we just keep going for longer in games, but we do seem to come strong at the end, and hopefully that's what we're going to see today, because it's still far too end-to-end for my liking, and Exeter are in again, and we've given away a penalty, and it's Keogh. £3 a week we're paying him. It's the first time he started a football match for us, and it's now 2-2 again. Not 2-2 again, it wasn't 2-2 before, but we're drawing again, and we've given ourselves a bit of a job to do against a team that we should be comfortably putting away. I'm so tempted to criticise Smith for not saving a penalty. It was a penalty. Of course he's not going to save a penalty. He's not superhuman. It all comes down to luck. Right, half an hour, 25 minutes to go. What have we got on the bench to do? So we've got Pike sat on the bench. We've got Schiavi. We saw the impact both of those two had in the last game. Not entirely sure I'm going to do a double substitution again. Aaron Cool's not having the best of games, so we're going to bring Hamblin on for him straight away. Just because I like Harry Hamblin. Look at that. That 6.1 experiment over. There we go. Fowler is on. And waste of money, eh? Good job we didn't pay actual money for him. Just a lot of wages. We can just have him pottering around telling us all about the good old days in the Premier League, but we don't need him in there giving away penalties and letting players get in behind him. Right, we are going to bring Pike on now for Marriott, and hopefully he has a little bit of magic in him to get us the goal that we need. Wordsworth with the corner. Fowler to Benteke. We're going the wrong way, but Benteke's picked it up again, but loses out, and there's a potential for a break here, but Hamblin gets in brilliantly. That's why he's in the team, and Pike hits the post. Oh, it was almost another example of wonderful substitutionising. but it wasn't to be. But now Grant with the cross, Fowler intercepts. He's trying to prove a point that he should have been on from the start. Hamblin in again. He's just going to control that midfield. Now this is the team that should have started the game. Wordsworth, what can he do? Finds Keneally, and that's a poor cross. We need a backup left back. That's another job for the summer. Taylor Crossdale. That is the most stupid goal I've ever seen in Football Manager. I'm so sorry if I just hammered the microphone. What was he thinking? I mean, yes, it's a glitch. It's clearly a match engine glitch. I don't care. We've just scored in the 89th minute from some absolute goalkeeping nonsense, and that maintains the 15-point gap at the top of the league as long as we can hold on. Pike to Hamblin to Zelalem to Crossdale to Benteke. What a goal we've just scored. It's 4-2. I told you we leave it late, and that is just perfect football. Look at this. I mean, that is one touch all the way. There's 5 passes in a one-touch flowing system. There's back heels in there. Oh, we're going to win the league. That was just magical. What an end to that game. That's ridiculous. And let's double check. Yes, we are 15 points clear. We must be close to wrapping this up now. That was just mad. Breathe. If you've enjoyed that, make sure you pop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. And thank you very much for watching.